Dallas Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. In Philadelphia, Philly, I want to just make sure I got this right. If the odds changed over the night, Philadelphia, nope, is still favored by 6 points. Jalen Hurts against the Cowboys in his career, 0-2. Both games were in Dallas, albeit, right? But his QBRs in those games, a 15 and a 12. So terrible. He's played terrible against the Dallas Cowboys. Another team that I'm not highly impressed with their wins and their opponents this year. Just to tell you those teams' overall defensive rankings, Detroit 31st in the NFL. Minnesota 24th in the NFL. Washington 18th. Now Jacksonville, top 10 defense. They're 9th in the NFL. Arizona 17th. You're going up against the Cowboys. I don't have their defensive ranking right in front of me. I think they're a top 10 defense, if I'm not mistaken. Top three. Okay. But this game is just, for me, the Cowboys with the backup quarterback, they've had a more impressive run of things. They beat the reigning AFC champs in the Bengals. They beat the surprise team of the year, the New York Football Giants, and the Giants' only loss is to Dallas. And I know you might come back at me and say, well, Brandon, you can't say that the Bills win over the Rams is impressive, but the Bills win over the Rams is not impressive, but the Cowboys win over the Rams is impressive. Well, yes, I can, because one team has a Josh Allen and one team has a Cooper Rush. That's why I'm saying it's impressive. And it's in week 5, so it's a couple weeks down the line. So that is an impressive win to me for the Cowboys with Cooper Rush beating the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Los Angeles Rams, especially in LA, where a lot of people thought the Rams could get back on track that game because they were playing Cooper Rush. The Eagles of 2021, 0-7 versus playoff teams. Now, I was mistaken when I said this in our last episode or 2 episodes ago, where I said Philly is still yet to prove that. They did face the Cardinals last week, and they beat the Cardinals, who were a playoff team last year. But I don't think that's highly impressive of a win. Everybody on the show has not been high on the Arizona Cardinals coming into the season, and I don't think anybody's changed that opinion. I think maybe we even think a little bit less of them. Seeing them, yes, the Cardinals are an explosive offense, but at times they are, but just really as a totality, the defense is not very good and the offense has its flaws. And they don't have DeAndre Hopkins. The Cowboys are a playoff team last year, right? So now the Eagles are going to be playing another playoff team for the second week in a row. But there's no Dak Prescott. So again, there's a little bit of a caveat for me. Now I'm going to sit here and I'm going to I thought about this for a little bit last night when I was doing my pick'ems. And it just came down to the fact that Jalen Hurts hasn't really been tested this year. And I think he's going to be tested this week. Micah Parsons is coming at him. Now, the Eagles have one of the best offensive lines in football, if not the best. They have one of the best running games in football. But I think Micah Parsons is carrying this Dallas Cowboys team on his back. And I think that he is going to have a big game. He's going to need to have a big game for the Cowboys to win. They're going to have to get at Jalen Hurts, and they're going to have to get at him early and often. Set the tempo early. Hit him. Knock him on his ass early. I'm going to take the Cowboys in a very close game. Now, for the Cowboys to win, they're going to have to hold this offense to probably 20 points at most. Maybe 23 is pushing it. But I think Cooper Rush can game manage this game. Now, they're playing a very good defense. But I think the O-line of the Cowboys is playing well. I think the running game is very, it's dynamic. You got the 2 guys, Zeke and Pollard. CD is starting to come on a little more. Hopefully Dalton Schultz can get into the offense. Michael Gallup is back. I'm going to put my faith into Micah Parsons and that defense in a very, very close game. I really don't have a score. Maybe 23-20 Cowboys. Now let's introduce to you guys BetStamp. Now BetStamp is a all-in-one marketplace because every sports book has different odds. On FanDuel, they got Detroit Lions at plus 194. Oh, those are good odds. I'm getting an underdog at a good price. But wait, Sugar House has them at plus 215. Get a little bit more bang for your buck, and that's what it's all about when you're betting. You can track all your bets through all the sports books, and I'll have that right there in one convenient place for you to look. And our referral code is WISEGUYS, WISEGUYS. That's WISEGUYS. And like I was saying, the biggest thing with BetStamp, guys, it's free.
This is one of the biggest season-defining games for both teams. Two squads that have massively exceeded expectation, two quarterbacks who have proven a lot of people wrong, two coaches that have stepped up big time. And most of all, for each of these two teams, they have their toughest matchup yet this year. I have the Eagles winning this game. And the reason why is, you look at this Cowboys defense, it's not just Micah Parsons. Trayvon Diggs has been playing a superstar level in the back end. Not Dexter Lawrence, he's on the Giants. DeMarcus Lawrence has been having a very good season. When I look back at that Giants game where Micah was going toe-to-toe with Andrew Thomas at left tackle, it was all Lawrence. Had 3 sacks in the day game to Daniel Jones. But in this matchup, the Eagles' offensive line is light years ahead of the Giants. Altogether, it's one of, if not the best in the entire NFL. Jason Kelce playing last week through injury, even still. The Eagles bring a level of physicality and toughness in the trenches that sets the tone. For this Cowboys defense, they haven't seen much like it this year. But the unique thing is, the selling point, Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, I can't speak, Isaac Seumalo, and Jason Kelce are all banged up. Each of those 4 guys are on the injury report this week. If one of them misses time, if one of them is not right, that opens up an opportunity for Dallas's defense and Dan Quinn to do some big-time things. At the end of the day, I'm going with the Eagles, though, because they have more talent. They have the better quarterback by far. Hurts has slowed down the last couple of weeks, but this for him is a game where he can get back on track. A.J. Brown is just a physical specimen, a freak of nature. Devonta Smith was a Heisman winner for a reason. And defensively, this Eagles defense against that Cowboys offense, which has been bad this year, I mean, I don't see how the Cowboys are scoring more than 2 touchdowns in this game. They'll be lucky to get up 17 points. They've been truly elite on both ends of the football, Philadelphia. And this is their statement win that's going to patent a 6-0 record to start the year.
Yeah, I definitely think that the Dallas Cowboys defense is going to have to directly impact the Cowboys offense scoring. They're going to have to give them short fields, get turnovers, if not get a fumble or pick six. I think Trayvon Diggs is more than capable of doing that, especially against a Jalen Hurts. He could trick him in some way in the game.
What are the Cowboys' keys to winning?
Keys? Defense. Hold them. You got to hold them to 20 at most, like I said. And that might be a little bit too much, but that seems to be the recipe. I mean, 15 to 17 points seems to be the recipe for the Cowboys. So hold them to right around there. The defense has to play lights out. The running game has to be very effective. It's got to be very similar to the Rex Ryan Jets of yesteryear. Run the football, play great defense. That's it. That's the formula right now.
I think it's 3 things. Make the Eagles one-dimensional offensively, generate turnovers like you said, so win the turnover battle. That's the key here. And last but not least, CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard, Zeke, those guys have to go off. The Eagles team is talented in every level. And so for CeeDee Lamb to have a big-time day against Darius Slay, all those the entire secondary in Philadelphia, James Bradbury, it will be required this week.